Hey guys, it's Krystal Lee Moore-Lussier here, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore. This is Realtor Life, and I'm so happy you're here. So guys, we are on to season 5, a brand new year. Welcome to 2026. And I'm really pumped about this year. Last year was, I think for a lot of people, just very, very heavy. There was lots of fun that happened. There's lots of good things that happened, but there was just a heaviness in the air. And I think we're all just really excited for a fresh start with 2026. And it's kind of exciting, right? Like, I don't know if we have a lot of nerds among us. I'm a super nerd in this area, in a few areas, but in this area specifically, goals and writing out new things. Not necessarily New Year's resolutions as much as just goals for the year. Writing out goals is very, very powerful. And it's proven that if you write your goals, the chances of achieving those goals increases dramatically. So, new year, new us, what are we going to do? So, I want to talk about goals today. This is not going to be a super long episode. I know everyone is just so busy getting into the hustle and bustle of January, but goals, accountability, reading, and fun, because fun is important. So, let's go. So, for goals, depending on the way you do things, goals are very often confused with tactics. So a goal might be, you might write down a goal and you say, I want to be healthier. Great. But you want it to be a SMART goal. So you need to be specific. So how specifically do you want to be healthier? They also have to be measurable. So how will you know when you're healthier? Action oriented, you need to know, like, what do you need to do to get that goal? You need to be able to, I think it's to reach it, but reachable. So you have to be able to get the goal. Um, and so you need a deadline. I will say for anyone who knows the SMART goals, I think I switched. I think it's achievable and you have to be able to track your results. But really at the end of the day, it's you want to pick your goals. There's some debate. I say you can like pick as many goals as you want, as long as you can focus on them. Buffini talks about the 5 circle goals. So I often will break my goals down just because it is amazing. And I believe everyone should do it, but you don't have to, into personal, family, business, spiritual, and financial. So if you break down your goals that way, you can even just pick one per category. What is something that you would like to do better this year than you did last year in each category? So health-wise, health is kind of one of those things. I think we're always trying to be healthier as a group, but health-wise, I think one of the things we can make sure about is that it's holistic health. So it's not just a number on a scale, but maybe you're talking about drinking more water. Hydration is very important, getting more sleep, spending more time in quiet reflection. So putting the phone down and just being with you. Whatever that means to you, write it down. Take a few minutes, and I know we don't have the time, but sometimes we have the time to scroll on Instagram and we have the time to do a lot of things. So take 5 minutes for you and just write down your goals. Oftentimes we say we're going to, but then we don't. So if you actually just take the time, start writing the 5 categories, put your goals there. But the reason the goals are powerful is because, like, you write them and you know about them, but then there's the ability to keep getting closer and closer to the goals. And you might even go into accountability. So, how can you do accountability? So, number one, a coach, right? So, a coach is a great way to stay accountable. And you can have a coach in several areas of your life. You can have a health coach, you can have a business coach, you can have a um, any sort of coach, a sleep coach if you really need, whatever you need. But ultimately, it's someone else who can say, I see this from an angle you can't see it from, and here's what I'm seeing. And it's hard when you're in it to be the person to see it. And it's also easier to say you're not going to do something to yourself than it is to someone else. So if you tell someone else that you're going to, Buffini had an example years ago. If you tell someone else that you're going to meet them at 7 a.m. for a run or a walk or whatever, the chances of you not showing up are very slim unless you just don't want to be friends with that person anymore. But if you say, I'm going to just go for a run at 7, you might, but it's a lot easier when you're in your comfy bed and you're all nice and warm to say, you know what? I'm just not going to go today. Having someone else to be accountable to is a big deal. Now, sometimes, let's say you don't have a coach yet, you can have an accountability group. So in 2023, I started a group with a friend of mine. We started a group of ladies to help with our health. We were all going through perimenopause. Don't worry, I'm not going to go into perimenopause. We're all going through the same thing. And we're like, okay, what is going on? So we joined, there's like 10 of us, and we just helped each other. We still have the group going. It's awesome. But we help each other and we motivate each other and we push each other and we cheer each other on. It's very cool. And so, in kind of joining together and helping someone else, you might end up helping yourself, right? So, it's kind of cool. And I would say having goals for the whole year is a good idea. Any goals are a good idea if you don't have any. But there's also a book that I recommend. It's the 12-week year. If you don't have time to read the book, there's also some really great podcasts. I think Buffini, on his It's a Good Life podcast, actually interviewed um, the author. So the 12-week year, the premise is that if you have goals from January to December, you're probably going to like try to really give her in November, December, because you've noticed that your goals weren't crushing it. And in the middle, like in the summer, let's say you know the goals, but you're like, I have lots of time. So the 12-week year is based on like athletic performance. And so you actually set goals for 12 weeks at a time. Um, or let's say you could do it for a month at a time. You could do it for 10 days at a time, whatever you're going to do consistently, really. But the point was that if you do the goals 12 weeks at a time, then number one, you can probably get them done. But number two, they're going to be goals that are not year-long goals. So let's say you have your big goals, but you're going to say, like, let's say you want to get healthier. Let's say your goal for the year is to get stronger and lose, I don't know, 10 pounds. So in the first 12 weeks, maybe it's to get like to be able to lift 5 more pounds at the gym and lose 5 pounds. Okay, so then you can break that down. But it's just into small, manageable goals. And it works, right? Like they wouldn't have books and success stories about it if it didn't work. So, however you're going to do your January, I'd say if you're not a goal person, write down one goal, just one thing that you'd like to achieve, and then make a plan. How are you going to get it? And the thing is, if you have a strong why behind it, so for any goal you write down, take a minute and just think about, and hopefully write down, but think about why do you want that? Because if the why is strong enough, it's going to push you on days that you just don't want to do it. And so, for example, I'm starting another health challenge, which I'm like notorious health challenge guru. I love it. But the thing with the health challenge, I'm starting again on January 5th. But my brain is wired for January 1st, like so many of us. So I mini started. So as of January 1st, I was doing 10,000 steps a day, no caffeine. And then we're adding in more things next week. So it's really comes down to what are small things that you can check off and start doing to gain momentum. It could be that you're going to go into next week and you're going to call 5 people a day. Just get on the phone. You can text them, call them, and you're going to meet with 3 of them. Like, let's say that's what really ends up happening. Like, at the end of the day, when you set those out and you check them off, the feeling you get is going to be this momentum that you're building, right? So you're going to be building momentum, and all of a sudden calling your client, meeting with your client gives you a little gold star feeling. So you keep going. And it is really, really powerful. It's an amazing, amazing thing. I started doing this, oh my gosh, probably years ago because I love for any of the one that loves writing a list and checking it off. You write the list, you check it off, you get a little dopamine hit, and it's exciting. And so it's kind of the same theory, but just put into the goals. So you write something down, you check it off, and you just keep going and you just keep doing that until you achieve your goals. And by the time you achieve your goals, you'll probably end up setting more goals. And that's kind of how the cycle of achievement pushes you through. Setting new goals is always exciting. Don't forget to celebrate the wins, though. So when you do achieve the goals, a lot of us A-type goal getters, workaholic types we forget to celebrate the wins. So you work towards something, you get it, you're like, boom, okay, next. Before that next goal, take a minute and just recharge. We just took 2 weeks off between Christmas and New Year's, and it was wonderful. I'm so excited to get back into everything. But taking that recharge time and taking that celebration time after a really, really great year and working so hard, and then having that amazing time with my husband and my family just to chill, and then we're back to it. And I'm so excited about the goals. You also get more excitement when you take the time off. For reading, we'll go really quickly about this. So, reading, I read 10 pages a day of a book, usually a business book. I do gift myself with fiction books, but I read 10 pages a day of a book, and it really just changes everything. You're putting really great stuff in. I haven't chosen my book yet for January, but I'm excited to choose it. And 10 pages a day, that's all it takes. And it just changes your world. You can get through so many more books than you thought. You could also just listen to a book. Like I also do audiobooks in the car, the mobile university, right? Like that's Zig Ziglar called it. Your car can be a mobile university if you let it. So audiobooks in the car are great. 10 pages a day. I'm always looking for really, really great books. So I love that there's so many book recommendations out there. And at the end of it all, don't forget to have fun. So, like I said, work hard for your goals and then celebrate the wins, but in between, have fun. Like I started doing improv last year, and I had Brandon Rudd on the podcast to talk about it, but I love it. I do it every week. And it's playtime. It's fun. And like we work so hard in the week, but then when I'm there, I'm just laughing and having fun with other awesome people, and it changes everything. So just to recap, guys, Happy New Year. We're so, so, so excited. Goals. It is so, so important to set your goals and to track your goals. Accountability, whether with a coach, a group, a friend, whatever, just someone else that's not you that can help you through, and you can help them too. Reading, make sure that you are trying to read, whether you're listening or physically reading or both, and have fun. Guys, I'm so excited for all of the fantastic guests that we have on Reels for Life this season, and very, very excited about all the fun that this year will bring. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.